Good afternoon, y'all. Welcome back to Papa Prepper. Tommy here. This is probably going to be just a mashup and compilation of some different things. I just feel like rambling for a while. Everybody gets that way every once in a while, I suppose. So I just wanted to just kind of talk about everything from a few shortages I'm noticing here that's becoming very apparent to you know, several countries that are crying out to their government to halt the use of the poison because there's more and more and more clear as day evidence that it's hurting people, and they still insist on pushing it, you know. I mean, these people have become worse than any drug dealer that yes, I've known drug dealers. You know, they've become worse than any drug dealer I've ever met in my life. You know, how many people has the flu, just the regular old flu, until the last, you know, year and a half, almost 2 years? Prior to that, how many elderly folks and babies and small children has the flu killed over the years? You know, and nothing has ever been mandated like this. Nothing has ever been pushed like this. The flu kills so many more people than this does. You know, and I praise God, thank God. You know, me and Mandy both just went through it. It was like walking through, I'd say three hard days of walking straight through. I mean, just so much pain, and you know, and it was real. It's very real, you know. However they've amped it up, they did. I'll never change my mind on that. YouTube, I understand if you got to get rid of this video, but that is nothing but a man-made tool for depopulation. And I firmly believe that, you know, because you have a lot of folks, thank God, that have taken it, you know, both rounds of it, and no harm, you know, and like I said, praise God for that. But you have a lot of people, like, I mean, even teenagers, you know, getting both rounds of the vax, 3 weeks later, dying from cardiac arrest, dying from blood clots. Children don't die from blood clots and heart attacks and things like that at the age of 14, 15. I think one I read was 12, you know, and that comes from the blind leading the blind, you know, parents that have been brainwashed into this thing, and, you know, their child happens to get a hot dose and they no longer have a child. And I firmly believe that's what is going on. I think the vaccines are maybe, now this is just me spitballing. You know, I'm not saying this is factual. I didn't read this anywhere. I'm just saying I think the vaccine is, I don't know, roughly 80, probably more like 70% basically saline, and the other 30% is intended to do what it's doing. I think that is their way of population control. And I think it's Russian roulette as to who gets that dose. And again, YouTube, I understand if you got to get rid of this. I totally get it. I don't get it, but I now know you are being made to get rid of this. It's not, in fact, YouTube. It's the puppeteer, the puppet master. I get it. So if you got to get rid of it, do what you got to do. I get it. But you'll never completely get rid of me. There's too many platforms. But honestly, that's how I feel, and I believe that, you know, well, I got the jab, I'm fine. I got both of mine, and I'm on my second booster, you know, which is not the case yet. Some countries it is, but, you know, I've got my booster, I'm fine. Well, you know, it's only a matter of time until one of them boosters, you're not going to be fine, okay? And I think that's what's going on. They're just playing a game of Russian roulette with the world population. That's why it's not mandated for Senate and the elite, because they're the ones pulling the string. And if they do, you know, are videoed or publicly get the jab, it's the saline content. I really believe that. And I know I probably have viewers and subscribers that will argue that, and that's fine. That's what we do. And we just agree to disagree here. And that's fine. But I think that's all I'll say about that. Is that's my beliefs right now. Okay, another thing I've noticed, and Angry Prepper Jason, he made a video about this last week, and I'm right. I agree with him, because say I go to Seymour, which is the closest neighboring, not a big city, but a town with good size. It's an industrial town, you know, a lot of factories. You know, you can go to Walmart or Kroger there, and you might notice a couple things that's kind of lacking. You know, like they rig the shelves to where it looks full, but the shelves are narrower, so there is that going on. You know, higher price, less quantity in the bags or the boxes, you know, the packaging. But yesterday being Saturday, I went to the grocery store because my girls were coming back from Tennessee. They'd been on the road, and I was going to make them a big pot of homemade chili so they have a good hot meal to come home, relax, you know. So I went to the grocery store. And usually on Saturday, Sunday, and this is in Brownstown, which is our closest neighboring little just podunk town. Okay, we got a grocery store, a Dollar General, CVS, and a couple fast food joints. Okay, just a little bitty speck on the map. And I noticed there was no type of saltine, or I'm sorry, let me back up. Saturday and Sundays at our JC store, which is ran by Kroger, you know, you might notice a couple things running low because being a little town, we don't get deliveries on the weekends. It's like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you know, that type of thing, or Monday and Thursday, you know, whatever the case may be. But yesterday being Saturday, and on those shortages, that's usually like milk, bread, you know, stuff that everybody needs. They run low on it because of the way our deliveries fall. You know, no big deal. That happens all the time here. But yesterday, I went, and you know, the milk cooler was, you know, pretty well stocked for being Saturday, like I said. But not one box, any brand, name brand, generic, you know, no kind of saltine crackers, canned beans, not just chili beans, canned beans, period. There was very few name brand, which we don't buy name brand. We do the Kroger brand. But the supply, the quantity of the canned goods in general was really surprisingly low. I've said before, we make a keto type chili, so because it's just healthier, and you know, I'm diabetic. We use a chicken broth tomato paste. That's how we make our tomato juice, and it tastes amazing. But anyway, because tomato juice has a lot more sugar. But I just happened to look, no tomato juice, none whatsoever. The meat case, which again on Saturday and Sunday, they usually just try to move what they've had throughout, you know, before it goes out of date, or they mark it down to manager specials or whatever. There was just a couple packs of some ribs, I think it was on special, and then the rest of the meat was pretty much hit and miss, except if y'all got JC's around where you live, they do have, and they had a lot of this, which is weird because the big 80-20 big rolls of hamburger was $7.49 for the big 3-pound rolls, and they had a lot of those, which is weird, but I bought 4 of them. But the rest of the meat, you know, was pretty skimpy. Cheese was great. Eggs, fully stocked. Fresh fruits and vegetables looked great. Potato chips, which, I mean, whatever, you don't need potato chips, but we like to have them, you know, every once in a while. Who don't? They were pretty scarce. I mean, there was a lot, but not a lot like normal chip aisles look like. What else was there? I noticed, I mean, just because it's right by the checkout, the beer was very low, and that's very weird for our town. They usually have like stacked up, you know, in the middle of the aisle like a display, and there was very little beer. But other than that, everything looked pretty well, you know, normal. But as the things that were missing just kind of was very weird. Things that usually don't run low. So that kind of caught me off guard. Another thing I kind of wanted to talk about with you guys is, you know, and most of you guys, this is probably just me, you know, beating a dead horse. But right now is more than ever the time that we really need to tighten our belts and be as thrifty as possible. And I know, you know, a lot of, especially if you have kids, you know, a lot of teenagers, younger kids are so picky anymore on what they eat. Excuse me, guys. They are so picky about what they will eat. And I think it's time for a big reality check. You know, it's time to start depending on more of the, you know, lower price or on sale or buying on the, you know, close to the Best Buy dates. And a lot of us, I know a lot of you do that. We do that constantly. You know, Kylene's always been raised, you know, and if we find name brand on sale, great. You know, if it's cheaper than generic because it's on sale, we'll get it. But, you know, our kid, she's always been raised, you know, we're going to get what's on sale. You know, you can doctor it up and cook it or, you know, use it, and, you know, it serves the same purpose as the name brand stuff. You know, like a lot of kids, you know, they run around with these AirPods, you know, which I ain't gonna lie, you know, last year I was very fortunate. I was able to, you know, Kylene had wanted a pair all year. You know, her bio dad never buys her anything. Never had. I mean, very little throughout the years. And that's one thing she had asked him for, because he never buys her anything. And he makes good money. You know, there's no excuse besides the fact he just don't want to. That's the one thing she asked him for, like for graduation last year, and then her birthday, and Christmas had come around, and she'd asked him again. So that's the one thing, you know, I'd really like to have. Well, when Christmas came around, I wasn't going to depend on him to do shit, sorry, for her again. And I was blessed, I was able to get her a pair. But anyway, sorry, getting off on a different tangent. We don't need to talk about deadbeat bio parents. Or step parents. There's bad step parents too, don't get me wrong. But anyway, you know, and those are expensive. I tell you firsthand, those are expensive. And you can get the same thing in a generic form at Walmart for 20 bucks. And they work just as well. The battery life is just as good, you know. So like when it comes, you know, time for Christmas shopping, I know that's going to hit a lot of us. It's going to hit us hard because, well, you guys know our job situation right now. It's up in the air, just like 95% of everybody else. The 5% is the ones that just don't care, and, you know, I trust the government. Yeah, well, that's done us a lot of good so far, isn't it? But, you know, this Christmas, it's going to be hard. You know, me and Mandy's already, you know, we're going to have a rock candy Christmas, you know, straight up. It's going to be, you know, little, you know, we'll have a nice Christmas, but we're not depending on spending, you know, stupid amount of money to have a nice Christmas. You know, we're going to have good, well thought out, budgetable gifts, you know, and if we can't, we know that's just a harsh reality. But, you know, a lot of parents feel that, and we've been those parents, okay? We've been those parents, you know. That's one time a year, you know, our kid got what she wanted, you know, within reason. But she's never, you know, she's never been deprived. She's very spoiled, you know. She has the only child syndrome. But anyway, you know, so this year we might have to, well, not might. We are definitely cutting way back just because of the uncertainty of unemployment, you know, or of being employed. So this is definitely the year that people need to really start penny pinching and skimping, and, you know, kids might not get the best of the best name brands, and, you know, when it comes to food, you know, get generic. You know, some of it, yeah, I get it. It don't taste the same, but it's going to taste a lot better than having nothing. Okay. Save money in any way you can. You know, me and a friend was talking the other day, you know, about how a lot of families, like, you know, me or us and RSD Prepper, you know, we piggyback off of streaming providers, you know, like Hulu, PureFlix, Netflix, you know, whatever. We piggyback, you know, so, and, you know, just split the cost, and, you know, it's all good because you don't have to live in the same house. You know, you could have a Netflix account, and your brother, you know, say you live in Indiana, your brother in Oklahoma can use your login account, or information, as long as you got it set up to power 2 TVs and y'all share the cost. I mean, that's cutting out a bill. You know, make sure you're shutting your lights off when you're not in the room. Make sure you're, you know, unplugging stuff that just don't get used. You know, I got a PlayStation system and a TV and stuff in the same room that I'm usually talking to you guys from that never gets used. So all that stuff stays unplugged because it still draws electricity. It still charges you just being plugged in, you know, especially like smart TVs, game systems, you know, anything that's, you know, smart, anything that's got a brain in it, it's constantly drawing electricity. You know, cut down your, you know, extra whatever, you know, country cruising, you know, whatever it is. And I'm bad about that. I'll get bored, you know, I'll just take off and go drive around the ridge and hit the country and come back, you know, but that's wasteful. That's just straight up wasteful. You know, we all need to start saving and pinching every penny we can, you know, because soon enough we're either A, going to be unemployed, and I'm talking all of us, okay, and, you know, you're going to be left with nothing. And, you know, and it definitely looks like we're on the way to digital currency, you know, all that stuff, which that's beyond me. I'm not that guy. I do not understand all that. I won't even pretend like I do. And if we're forced into that, you know, I still think as long as you have silver, and I don't mean like collecting silver, I mean like just change, you know, just regular old change, and paper money, there'll be an underground network of people that will still use that, especially the prepper community. I think, like, okay, it'll be worthless to go to the grocery store with, or you're paying your bills, you know, okay, it'll be worthless that way. I get that. But if preppers would start their own underground type and still use that same currency, but offer services and goods just between us preppers and homesteaders, and we could all keep everyone going using the same old paper money, you know. Now, will that happen? I don't know, you know, but I think it's something we should all consider, is having our own underground black market, so to speak, you know. Say I had a good year with tomatoes, you know, and I got just a random number, 50 quarts of tomato juice, stewed tomatoes, whatever, but I wasn't able to get a deer this year, you know, and say so-and-so over here got his limit. He's got 3 bucks in the freezer. I could take him, you know, so much money for some of that meat, or I could just, you know, it's basically the bartering system, only with money. You know, you can keep that money alive, but only in a small group, you know. So I think if we would do it, we could keep paper money alive in the prepper, homesteading, survivalist community. Just a thought. The last thing I want to talk to you guys about is I'm going to I kind of hit on this in another video, but this time I want your guys' feedback. Okay, I want your opinions. You know, I can take constructive criticism. That don't bother me. You know, just don't be hateful, don't be rude, and we'll be just fine. I feel, and I know there's a lot of creators that won't come out and just say it, okay, but I will. And I've been doing this, I've had this channel for 9 months now, I believe. No, 10 months, 11, something like. I'm coming on a year, okay? I'm coming right up on a year. And you guys, and not just you guys, but everybody that watches us meaning, you know, all the creators, all the prepping channels, the homesteading channels. If you guys are not working on being prepared and know what food you need, how much water you need, how to collect water, how to preserve food, you know, if you guys haven't learned and know what you're supposed to be doing by now, you're not going to, period. You know, if you're still waiting to see a sign that you need to start prepping, or, you know, growing your own food and stuff like that, if you haven't seen that and got up and done the thing yet, you're not going to, period. You know, those people are here to just hang out and chat and be part of something, okay? And that's fine, you know, that is absolutely fine. You know, if you feel that, you know, you got this, you can handle it when it goes down, you know, when it does hit the fan, that's fine, you know, that's on you. So I want to take my channel in a different direction. Because like I said, you guys know what food you need, you know, how to pack it, how to preserve it, how to store it. You know, all of us have beat that drum to death, okay? And honestly, I can't believe there's not more creators, you know, coming forth and being like, you know, the same, because I know they're feeling the same way I am. But what I want to start doing is more not informational, more educational, like, you know, demonstration videos, I guess you could say, like, you know, hands-on, showing you how, you know, basic first aid, you know, CPR, that's kind of up in the air, because, I mean, I am certified. I'm not certified to be a teacher, but, you know, there's a big difference. But you can't really teach CPR without a CPR dummy. So I guess I could throw something together that kind of looks like a human. I don't know. But, you know, because there's, you know, people's going to have to know this stuff. And all too many people don't, you know, first aid, CPR, trauma care, which I've learned trauma care just from, I mean, I'm not going to say I've learned it because, okay, number one disclaimer, I'm not a doctor. I never claimed to be, but I will do what I can to save someone's life, okay? And I've learned what I know just from watching it on YouTube and reading. You know, I'll say it again, that's one of the most important preps you can have is knowledge. You know, your soul being number one and knowledge being a second, and then, you know, because food and water is only going to get you so far if you don't know how to do anything, period. So I want to start teaching people, not just telling people what they need to do. I want to start teaching people. Just a second, mower's coming back by. Sorry about that. You've noticed I am in a different location today. I'm over at my buddy's house, and he's not home from work yet, and Mandy's hanging out with his wife, and so I decided it was a good time to make a rambling video. But back to the channel. That's what I want to start doing is, you know, I want to, hunting season, deer season starts here next Friday. Okay, I was hoping to have a camera mount for my crossbow so I could take you guys along with me hunting. Of course not live, because obvious reasons you can't sit there and talk while you're hunting deer. But I don't think that's gonna happen, just for simple lack of money. Okay, I ain't gonna lie. But I am gonna try to take a little tripod and, you know, do what I can, you know, to show you guys. You know, I ground hunt. I don't get in tree stands because, honestly, I think I would be okay with that kind of height if I wasn't so heavy. But I'm scared to get in one of those. I'm afraid they'll break, and I don't have the property where I can make a permanent one. So I ground hunt. I use ground blinds. You know, I'll crawl up under briars and bushes and lay on my belly. You know, I hunt in some pretty weird positions. But just a second, mower's coming back. Sorry again. But that's where I'm wanting to go. You know, I think that would be, at this point, more beneficial to you guys, instead of just, you know, keep saying, you know, go get your beans, go get your rice, you know, go get some water, you know, make sure you got plenty of gasoline, you know, this and that, you know, make sure winter's coming, make sure you got extra propane. And I mean, you guys know all that. You know all that. But I think there's a lot more that people don't know, that they're going to need to know, that they don't yet realize that they're going to need to know. You know, just like I was saying the other night, you know, the people that are hardcore and not going to take this jab, it's going to come very soon where you can't go to the doctor. There's already plenty of doctor's offices doing that. Okay, and I think it's just a matter of time before it's going to be the hospital. It's going to be the minute clinics. It's going to be the, you know, the free clinics, whatever you want to call them. You know, they're for lower income and things like that. I think it's going to be a matter of dentists, you know, which reminds me of another thing. Just real quick, side note, I'm having a lot of dental work done Wednesday. So I would appreciate some prayers, because I hate going to the dentist. But with that being said, there probably will not be a Thursday night live stream, because Tommy is getting a new smile across the bottom, getting rid of this gap, and my teeth, the bottom teeth, are terrible. So they're gonna go, and I'm getting a new smile. So I probably am not gonna feel like sitting and talking for 2 hours Thursday night, guys. I apologize, but I'm getting it done before I can't get it done. So with that being said, I appreciate some prayers, and I won't be live streaming Thursday night. But anyway, back to what I was saying. It's coming to where you're not going to be able to go to the dentist. You know, you're not going to be able to, you know, say you lay your hand open, or your wife or your spouse, your husband, whatever, your partner, you know, just cooking, you know, and if it's grid down, SHTF, you know, it's hard telling what you're going to be doing. You could lay your arm open, or, you know, whatever, and you're not going to be able to go to the doctor, you know. And that's just, that's an SHTF. That's not just talking about, You know, which basically, in my opinion, if it comes to where, you know, just us select folks can't go to the doctor, you can't go to the grocery store, you can't do this, you can't do that, folks, that is our shit hitting the fan, period. Because, I mean, what else would you call that? You know, we have no way to go buy food, we can't go to the doctor, we can't get medicine. You know, there's so many things that we're not going to be allowed to do. That's SHTF, guys. I mean, full blown. It don't matter if the economy's still up and people that have been, you know, jabbed or doing whatever they want, coming and going. You know, for us folks that's not going to take it, that's SHTF. So that's definitely what we've been prepping for, and that's why you need to learn this stuff. And I'm not saying I'm going to be the best teacher. I'm not saying there's not going to be better ways. I'm not going to say that, you know, and every video will have a disclaimer, whatever it is I'm doing. You know, I'm not a doctor. I've never claimed to be a doctor. I'm not an herbalist. I'm not, you know, any of those things. I just know what I know, and I know I'm going to apply what I know in any way I can to save somebody's life or to survive. Okay? And I think that's really all I got to ramble about today. I mean, I could sit here and talk to you all day, but nothing you're probably interested in. Right now, I'm really wishing I was fishing. It's kind of windy, but I really wish that's another thing, you know, teaching people how to fish, what to look for, you know, how to tell, you know, yeah, there's probably good fish in there, or, you know, knowing the difference of, you can tell, you can tell by the water. You know, you can tell by the water if there's fish in there, if there's a lot of fish, no fish. You know, around here we have a big turtle problem. Always been a problem before, but now, I mean, turtle is edible. Turtle tastes phenomenal. There's like 7 different kinds of meat in turtle. And, you know, I'd love to do a video on how to clean a turtle, how to cook a turtle. I mean, they're good. They're very good. I love turtle. Haven't had it in a long time. But there is a season for it. So you can do that legally right now. I mean, not right now. I don't know the season of, you know, catching turtle. But they've always been a hindrance and a problem before. Not anymore. Take them suckers and preserve them, put them in the freezer, whatever, just like you would any other kind of meat. Bullfrogs, same way. I've never ate frog legs. I would if I was hungry enough. You know, it's just different things that people need to learn how to do, period, to not only survive, but, you know, I'll be ecstatic, you know, if I can, you know, provide for my family and keep us alive and surviving, that is awesome. But if we can thrive, that is amazing. You know, I'll be happy to survive, but my goal is to thrive. Okay? So with all that being said, I know that was near full. Like I said, you know, I want feedback, I want comments on where I'm wanting to take this channel. And I do have a friend that he's served our country. He's been all over the world, seen a lot of things. And I think I'm going to be able to get him on board with me to do some of these videos. He's very knowledgeable. He's been a prepper for 25 plus years. I think he'll be able to help us out a lot. So I'm hoping to have a new partner coming on board. Hold on. All right. Anyway, with all that being said, I do want feedback. I want, you know, to know what you guys think of me taking the channel in that direction. I might change the channel name, just because that way I can maybe fly under the radar a little better in the algorithms. I mean, it'll still be Papa something, okay? Excuse me. And the only reason I'm saying that or thinking about doing that is, like I said, exactly what I said. Try to kind of fly under the radar so I can keep information and content and learning coming your guys' way. Because I don't think it's too far off that anything associated with prepping, homesteading, you know, they're cracking down hard hard on us, guys. People's assets are being frozen. People, you know, it's getting bad. And it's not that I'm scared of the powers that be, the elites and whatnot. It's not the fact that I'm scared. You know, if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't give two squirts about YouTube, okay? YouTube is just, it's brought me to you guys and brought you guys to me. I don't want to lose you guys. I'm not going to tap dance in my videos, but if changing my name might kind of take some heat away and fly under the radar, then so be it, you know. I'm not going to pause this time. I'm just going to tell you guys, remind you guys tonight, 9 p.m., prep your soul. We are starting the book of Job, which I think will be a very good lesson in the way the times are right now. You know, we're going to have patience and love and understanding and to never give up. But I felt like I was screaming. So I'm going to repeat a little bit of that in case you couldn't hear me. Tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, prep your soul. We are starting to read the book of Job tonight. I think that is going to be a very good lesson. I think it's going to be a very good study, because now more than ever, I think we can all relate to Job. You know, a lot of people get in that frame of mind. You know, why is God letting this happen? Why is God, you know, what did I do? Why am I being punished? You know, there's so many lessons in the book of Job. You know, the devil can only do what God will allow. And there's so many things that's got to play out. And I think that a lot of people forget that. You know, bad things have to happen before Jesus comes back and takes us home. A lot of bad things. We ain't seen nothing yet, folks. You know, and the book of Job is a good reminder of, you know, you got to keep the love for Christ in your heart. You've got to keep the love for your neighbor, your enemies in your heart. You know, you've got to keep it there, because without that, you have nothing. You know, you have absolutely nothing. So with that being said, I hope to see you guys tonight. Like I said, please give me comments, feedback on the direction of the channel, because this is your guys' channel. I wouldn't be me without you. God bless y'all. I love each and every one of you. Make sure you get me them addresses in so I can get you all your radios as quick as possible. Until tonight, guys, Papa Prepper out.